Just getting a post-match interview here at the Erie following today's 2-0 defeat here to Thame United. Dave, disappointing day at the office. Probably, if we're honest, one of our poorest performances of the season. Obviously hamstrung again by having to shuffle the pack a little bit. But how did you see it?
I thought it was our poorest performance since we've been in step forward, if I'm honest with you. And probably beyond that, they looked devoid of anything today. I mean, I was short and sharp at the end, and just we were never. I just don't think we ever got going with whether it was the day, what happened early on, but the attitude, the effort, the hunger, the desire. I didn't think we had any, and I'm being very kind, really. So, yeah, look, awful.
What do you think is behind that though? Because obviously apart from Biggleswade Town, which wasn't a particularly bad performance on Tuesday night, do you think it was down to the fact that we've looked at it and gone, well, Thame United are bottom of the league, and we think that we can turn up in second and third gear and win the game? I mean, I actually didn't think the first 15-20 minutes was actually too bad, but it was just, I think if Tom takes one of those two good opportunities and we go one up, is it potentially a different game?
Yeah, it probably is, if I'm honest with you. But and look, one of them's a gilt-edged chance. He's only got normally you'd expect Tom to lift it high into the top corner. The other one's another good chance. There was one, I think, through to George Bay that he overrun. I think it was probably another one through to Alex. And their chances were coming from our mistakes. I mean, it's not like Thame, well, all game really were cutting us open with their play. They just pounced on every time we gave it away cheaply, and we just seemed today. I've never seen a side go backwards as many times as we did today. We just got it and went back, and it was slow.
I just felt like we at times just passed it for the sake of passing it, rather than actually properly probing and asking questions of them, and I think, as I say personally, I think that lack of intensity made it a lot easier for them than perhaps it should have done. But I still think that had we taken one, and even going into the second half, we go 1-0 down. Obviously, we get a penalty to get back into the game, and again, I felt like if we take that, then we maybe go on and win the game. But it was just one of those days for us today.
I agree. I don't think it was one of those days. I mean, that's the thing. I think we're kind of, we're smoothing over and going. Oh, we was a bit. You can lose games, and you've had a lot of the game, and you're unlucky, and the keeper's had a great game.
Sometimes you've got to make your own luck.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm honestly today, we got exactly what we deserved, in my opinion. Yes, we had chances to go in front. Penalties, it's not even a good taken penalty, and so you just go on. And you're right. We just kept simply going sideways, or we slowed it down. And pass for passing sakes. I can't disagree with that. We had young Harry on the right hand side. That first half I thought looked like he could cause them problems every time he got it. We didn't give him enough. We didn't get it to Weddy enough down the left hand side where I felt we could hurt them. I thought they were vulnerable down their sides, and of course being bottom they're vulnerable anyway. And we didn't pass it forward enough. We didn't pass it into the front three enough. And I'd say in the end, we just were running out of ideas. And once Thame got the lead, more than understandably, they managed the game. I thought they managed the game brilliantly, if I'm honest. Apart from the penalties, the one time we probably got behind them, and it's look. I'm going to say to you now, I think it's a penalty, but there's another day they won't give it. But he does catch him. But as I say, another day probably don't even get that. So, just being honest, it just wasn't good enough. We had lacked anything that we normally got. We lacked. The performance against Leighton Town, was I thought was exceptional. I thought we controlled the game. I felt that we matched everything.
Do you think it's down to the fact that we've gone to Leighton place that we've never really had any decent performances or results there, and we know that we need to put in a performance. Whereas today they're bottom of the table and we're expected to get the 3 points, and we haven't. Do you think it's just an attitude thing, or it's what is the reason for the such chalk and cheese? Because even Biggleswade Town on Tuesday, we lost the game, but I didn't think there was a great deal in it other than two bits of quality from them, which ultimately settled the game.
Yeah, well, we worked hard at Biggleswade. If we'd have put the same effort in today, we'd have got a result. I spoke to him at the start of the game. At the end of the day, look, there has to be that attitude. There has to be that attitude they can try. From the very first moment today, what went wrong did go wrong. Amy breaks down the A1. We've got players queuing up to get looked after by Amy, who's brilliant, and she's not here, and so we're muddling through and taping a few, and we're asking them to tape themselves. Hopefully they can remember how Amy does it. We go through that situation. We've got injured players here waiting to see they can't, so the changing room's filled up with players. We then go out, the warm-up's poor, and I say what goes wrong could go wrong, as in it went from that to the next one. We lurched into that, then we start the game in the same lethargic way. We passed most of the opportunities in the first half to Thame. Not that they were overly pressurising us. It wasn't like they worked like mad to close us down. We gave it away cheap because when it was played into a central defender, instead of playing it quickly into the two midfield boys, they had a touch. And of course, in that moment, then players are getting closed.
I think if we're honest, both goals have come from us just being sloppy with it.
Rubbish, yeah, absolutely.
Sloppy with it rather than being decisive in our decision making.
Absolute rubbish they were, because the first ones we've got at the back, we can't pull. We pass it into Rio, who first of all should have been on the half turn. Secondly, should be told to turn and play, and he just knocks it back into Laurie. Doesn't need to knock it back to him, and Laurie fluffs it, gives them their first goal, and the second one's just as poor because we're comfortable. It comes to Kamani. I'm standing behind it. Lee's standing open. He's available. He wants it. Kamani plays it to Fish, who gets robbed, and it's a great finish, by the way. But they're totally avoidable. Two avoidable and absolutely rubbish goals to give away, and you that kind of sums up the whole day. And the penalty just rubs salt into the wound. It's difficult. I'm doing quite well because I haven't swore, if I'm honest with you, because it'd be the easiest way to describe it, but I can't. So, and it just went on. It just kind of went on from there. And just look, we changed a couple of bits a day, but it's not a weakness, is it, by getting George Bailey back on the pitch for his first game? It's not a weakness putting Lee on the pitch, because I thought most of our good in the first half when we opened them up come from him. I think maybe all the chances come from Lee being involved in them. So it's not weakening us at all. And we need to get games into these boys. We certainly need George Bailey back to fitness, and we're trying to force the fitness. So I don't think there was anything in that. And in fact, I felt a bit sorry for them, because lads that we normally depend on, and experienced lads, weren't at it, and those sometimes some of the younger lads get inspiration from them guys. They went on it, they were giving it away, and then you're then asking the younger kids to turn it around. With credit to Harry, he did everything he could to turn it around.
I think he was probably pick of our players.
Yeah, look, listen, people sponsor the game and they can choose what they like, but I think Harry stood out amongst everyone we had on the football pitch today.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit sorry for Weddy, because I don't think we got the ball to him enough. Because normally if there's something decent's going to happen to come from him, we lose Ollie Snape early on, but blimey, we bring on Kimani. It's hardly a weakness. In actual fact, it strengthens us up. Well, it's unfair to Ollie, but you're playing a guy, bringing a guy on par. So there's nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong with the player. The starting 11 should be giving every side in the league run. You know, we've got Dunstable Tuesday. I should be able to pick the same 11 that started or the same 11 that finished, and we should be able to give Dunstable a game. But on that performance today, Dunstable will be rubbing their hands.
I was just gonna. That was going to be my final question. Looking ahead to Tuesday, Dunstable are absolutely flying at the minute. They've broken into the playoff places. They won again today. But is that the sort of game that we need at the moment, just to maybe get another performance out of ourselves? Because we, as I've already alluded to, I didn't think we played particularly badly on Tuesday. But obviously poor today, and you don't want that to then become a prolonged run. And with the results that went today, we're starting to look over our shoulder a little bit again today rather than looking up the table.
Yeah.
So it's probably important that we have got a big game, obviously a dress rehearsal for the Bed Senior Cup final as well, for us to hopefully try and get a performance and build a bit of confidence again.
Yeah, probably is the perfect game for St because the one or two things are going to happen. We're either going to put in a performance or we're going to be chasing shadows all game, and you know, and with cup final places to be nailed down, there's a few lads after today that will be looking over their shoulders because there's a few boys starting to get fit, you know. So yeah, look, if Skip was sitting here, Skip would be saying that's the game we need. For me, today should have been the game we need. He should have gone into Tuesday night full of confidence and got a result today, and we haven't done. We've let ourselves down. So.
Congratulations, Dave. We will see you at Dunstable on Tuesday.
We'll do.